I'm just watching a TV show called Malice. You guys should watch it. It's about when you let a snake into your house. This guy is like real snake. That's what the snake is like. You know, comes into your house to destroy you. You know. Isn't that the story of the 144,000? We're dealing with a bunch of snakes, you know, who come to our house to destroy us. Yeah, true story. So it's called Malice. You should watch it. Okay? And it's a good show. Actually, I have one more episode left. We just so into it. Like, you know, I watched it all day. You know, it just tell you about, you know, people can be very unassuming. They will put a front on and a face or whatnot, and to pretend they're not who they really are, you know. But deep inside, they are rotten. They are rotten wicked. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should watch this show, man. You know. Anyhow, that's what's going on. Is because this guy he's like spinning all these lies and saying stuff about people and killing people and doing stuff to people, you know. And yeah. And that's how he moved, you know, because he's like severely mentally unstable, you know, because some of the stuff he thought about doing to people, you know, nobody in a right frame of mind would think like that. I know it's a TV show, guys. You're gonna say, oh, it's just a TV show, it's not real. Yeah, there is people who are like that in this earth. They're over 8 billion, you know what I'm saying? And they're a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, I remind me when I first, you know, when I got targeted a few years, they told me to kill my mother, you know? They told me to kill my mother, right? So just imagine if I was one of these cracked, weak-minded people, and I went ahead and I did that. You know, killing my mother. You know, if I went ahead or got, you know, I followed through, and I did that, right? They're gonna say, "Oh, this poor kid, he was not mentally unstable," you know. But meanwhile, you never understand what going through that person's head, right? But there is wicked people are like that exist. Who would actually push you and give you orders. You know, the kid who was 16 years old or something like that in Texas. He killed like 18 or 19 people. Remember that shooting in Texas? And remember the kid was saying that he was hearing voices, you know? And that was voice disco. Because when I saw it on TV, and I saw it on TV, this kid was mentally unstable. No, he was not mentally unstable. They put him in this program, and you know what? Some of us, they do not even know the technology of voice disco. Voice 2K, V2K. This technology was, created by United States government or MK Ultra, where they can put thought patterns without touching you. You know, they run it through frequency. They call it the voice of God, right? That's what they did to Iraq War, because Saddam Hussein army were fighting. And these people were hearing God telling them to stop fighting. to surrender. You understand? So anyhow, I don't have to prove anything, but look up V2K patents. Patents. They made these patents. So to get back to what I'm saying is, who would invent this type of technology with the right frame of mind if you are not messed up in the head? You know, if you're not messed up in the head, why would you invent this kind of technology? Yeah, except to just mess with people's head. You know, when somebody carry on and go and do whatever and kill a person or do something like that to other people and whatnot, you claim no responsibility. You know, you're like, oh, just minding my own business. I didn't do anything. You understand? So the question is, when they were pushing me to kill my mother, telling me to kill my mother, go kill your mother, you know? And you just imagine if I was a weak-minded person like this 16-year-old in Texas who killed 18 or 19 people, if I was like that, then what? Yeah? So killing two birds with one stone, right? Yeah, exactly. They use a system on you. They use a system on you to put you through a trial. You go to court, and you're found guilty, and all of that. For a problem they instigated. For a problem they created. You understand? And they're acting from us. They sit there from a sideline acting like, I mind my own business. We didn't do anything. We didn't do nothing. You know? He did this on his own. You understand? When I refused, they end up killing my mom. You know? It's like you can't win. You know what I'm saying? If he's not gonna do it, we're gonna do it for him. But then they didn't just kill my mother. They killed my aunt too, her twin sister. And then I found out, you know, in what they call them, the Illuminati or Masonic, whatever, they quite big on twins. They really like twins. Something about twins they love, you know? You understand? And so my mom was just a lucky person, and she was a twin. An non-identical fraternal twin. That's why my aunt also died. My aunt was like, they both were given cancer. But you know that. They can give you cancer, right? They can give you a lot of diseases. Okay? And I was watching CIA operate where he talks about the United States government when they pretended they were looking for, you know, cancer treatment. Okay? They were looking for cancer treatment, and they found this doctor, very smart, you know, woman who'd been she's a very, you know, she's a researcher, and she can, you know, she's been working on something to heal the cancer, or to you know. And they went up to her and they told her, they offered her a job with a very, very, you know, very comfortable pay, and they told her, can you create something to accelerate the cancer? So who does that? So guys, who does that? You know, accelerate the cancer, right? Okay. So you understand what I'm trying to tell you guys? When people are really wicked to the core and in power, they will harm a lot of people because they think they're untouchable. They're above God, you know? When God made, when God created the creation, humanity and whatnot, have given it, a lot of, intellect, and given it a lot of, everything was like top notch, Then, they came in, people on this earth who fell, Satan. Satan has been at war with God's creation since we fell. You understand? We came into this earth, and Satan has been hard at work. You know what I'm saying? He's been hard at work showing all this hate toward God's creation. So, and they do not like people who says I'm for God. They want people to say I'm for Satan. You understand? When you say you're for God and there's somebody they value, they will target you. They will target you because of your DNA of who you are. So these wicked people thriving. Well, sometimes I think about it. I think of about why evil thrive. Why evil thrive. Because it's been going for a long time. The more people stay silent, the more they do wrong. The more they do people wrong. That's exactly what they do. And they tell you, the 144,000 they're very hard to control. They're very sovereign beings, and they don't really, assimilate to any culture or any world views. You understand? So that why you become an enemy of the state. The movie Enemy of the State of Will Smith and what is his name? The other guy who died. What is his name? Anthony Hoffman. No, is it Anthony Hoffman? I can't remember right now. Was exactly what's happening, to us. So this TV show I watched, Malice. Malice is exactly what it means. It means malice, wicked. Wicked doing things to good people. Just the intent is to harm. Not to make you better or anything like that. If I was a conforming kind of person who would have said, yeah, let me join the Freemasons, this offer is really good. Then all this problem would have went away. But because I chose not to, then they use every weapon on the book to target you. But hey, I'm still not gonna join. I'm still not have nothing. I want nothing to do with you. And I don't really care what they have to offer. Well, if these people think what they're offering is so good, people will like dying to get to it, right? So if the shit is so good, people will be eating it up, right? You understand? So that's what's kind of going on. Yeah, Malice. You watch that show, guys. Do not let the snake into your house. The snake will destroy you. You know what I'm saying? The snake, the weakest part of the body. What is the snake, the weakest part? What do you think it is? I'm going to tell you. The snake, the weakest part is the tail. That's why it coils to protect, and it lifts. The head is the strongest part because they know they can bite you, and end your life, So that was kind of going on. But, they have weaknesses, They have weaknesses as well. Their weaknesses, I'm going to tell you what their weaknesses is. Their weakness is judgment. That's the weakness. Judgment, they fear judgment, That's a major, fear. That's the number one fear. You understand? So, because they don't want what they have created in this earth to end. You understand? Guys, watch the TV show Malice. That tells you what a snake acts like. He played the part like, when an actor moves emotion in you, that means he played the part really good. Because I did like this guy, and this, millionaire guy, he's so naive, and to open the door to the snake to come into your house to destroy you. You understand? I can see a snake a mile away. Snake could never fool me. That's why my family always asking me for advice, because I could read people. You know what I mean? If I looked at him like this, I would have told them, "Here, get rid of the Manny, what a nanny, Manny." Anyhow, get rid of him. I would have said that. Yeah. So Satan is being at war to destroy God's creation. So do you know the story of the womb? The womb where in a primordial where the egg appeared, right? That's about creation. What do you think it's all about? The womb. The womb is, women create eggs. You understand, right? Women create eggs. Man creates sperm. That's why the serpent in a primordial. What do you think that means? It's a semen, And people, because God is very symbolic when He talks about things. And He's very symbolic when He talks about things. He never really, He uses symbolism behind it to tell a story, because God is a spirit, God is a spirit, and the primordial, the egg, and the serpent, that the first one that came out, it was, the story of man. That story of man, it's about creation. That Satan working so hard, all his minions on earth, to destroy us. Okay? Humanity are right asleep. They don't even know. They don't even know what's going on. They don't know they've been doing, somebody's doing them in. You know what I'm saying? And they're right asleep. That was going on. So the story of creation and malice.